Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John and I'm coming at you on the go, actually from Hayley Williams' home state of Tennessee. And for any government official watching this video, I had to take this vacation to write this off as a tax expense because I needed to get inside of the mind of Hayley to better understand this new track, Simmer. Indeed, it's the first ever official solo release of Hayley Williams, the frontwoman of Paramore, after doing that for 15 years, 15 plus years at this point, considering Paramore founded in 2004. We now have a Paramore project that's supported by Paramore members and even touring members. Joey Howard supported during the After Laughter era, and he co-writes on this new track, Simmer. Zach Farrow's on drums, Taylor York is producing, co-writing, and then you've got Carlos de la Garza mixing and engineering this track. Consider me stoked, and the hype leading up to this single was immense. At the end of December, Hayley Williams turned 31 years old. She announced this project, Petals For Armor, and we've kind of been hearing about that for a little while now, but we now have official confirmation that that's the album, dropping May 8th. I believe that's the date for that, and yeah, with this single Simmer, I am boiling over with excitement in more ways than one. This is a very heated track. It's angry, it talks about rage and things trying to be confined but turning red essentially when you're not able to contain those feelings. And this is a very remarkable track for a lot of different reasons because we've seen Hayley discuss this in Paramore's music in the past. I think back to the self-titled album, some of the interludes like Moving On, for example. Counting to 10 is again referenced, and that's a whole thing like calm yourself down, count to 10. But leading up to this, the marketing was kind of hinting at the fact that this would be a very fierce track, and it is in a lot of ways. It's confident, it's remarkable, it reminds me a lot of maybe something like Alanis Morissette in the sense that it's very poised vocally. And of course, Hayley's voice is striking as always, but this starts off with a breathy section, gets into a bass groove that really locks things down, and we move into something that is very calculated but not cold at all, if that makes sense. It feels like she's moving in the exact way that she wants to, her prowess, her ambition on this tune. It's kind of a dark alternative pop, almost a little bit of, dare I say, post-punk in terms of the groove and the way that this song moves. It combines genres, and I think a lot of people might be upset about the fact that, oh, Hayley is doing something so different. But I honestly have to applaud and say, if you didn't feel that this was right for Paramore and you wanted this to just be your solo release, but your band members from the band are supporting this and even playing on it, I mean, how often do we see that happen? And would it work as a Paramore song? Perhaps so. But obviously Hayley's decided to release this on her own, so I don't think that's for us to decide, really. Now, on Simmer, as the track continues to move on, and I feel that the whole idea of simmering, calming down, cooling your jets essentially, moves into this whole segue where she talks about possibly her marriage, things that fell apart. She's given interviews where she kind of talked about feeling empty inside and the warning signs, even on her marriage day, the day that she got married. And I think now, looking back, she sees it as something else entirely. And the concept of petals for armors, wrapping yourself up in something and being able to protect yourself from these things when they pop up and problems arise in the future. It's smart. It's a very sensible tune. It does take some getting used to because at first listen, I think it unnerves you a bit, but it's an intentional unnerving from Hayley, I feel like. Of course, some of the marketing was talking about how Hayley Williams, it's not likely that you'll get murdered by her, but it could happen. And then, of course, the second verse of this track, oh man, talking about gutting some fucker. I'm a little bit scared. Might have to sink down a little bit lower to hide over here. But it's a good kind of scared. Again, it didn't exactly totally make sense to me at first. But again, as you listen more, the groove locks in. It starts to speak more. It's catchy in a very dark, ominous, brooding way, like you constantly feel like something is going to happen, and perhaps I would have liked a little bit more of an explosion. Not that it doesn't happen at all, especially once the song just kicks in the first place and Hayley's vocal range is manifesting, showing itself. I just maybe wish, like an explosive instrumental, I would have maybe liked a guitar solo or a little interlude or something to really bring up the tempo and kick off the flames a little bit more. But still, as this track continues to simmer on, if you will, for about 4.5 minutes, it really does get the job done, and it's grown on me more and more. Of course, with me being a massive Paramore fan and a fan of Hayley's voice, her talent, her writing style, everything like that, this track didn't disappoint at all. It's got me a little bit tongue-tied because it's scary, but it's a good kind of scary, and it's a good kind of ominous. And overall, I'm feeling a strong 4, perhaps even a light 4.5 out of 5. I think the music video was interesting as well, of course, talking about the fact that rage is kind of following you, it seems like, at all times, and you try to wrap yourself in this protection, but sometimes you just break down and you have to let that rage out. At least that's my interpretation. And also, not here or there, Hayley's naked the entire video, running around through a forest. Do with that information what you will. I enjoyed the video personally, and I really enjoyed the song, and I think you guys will as well, especially if you go into it not expecting another Paramore jam or something a little brighter, because this is definitely a major step away from the After Laughter era, and I'm very excited to see what everyone has crafted for this Petals For Armor album. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like on this hot tub track review while you're here. And this should be the last of those. Thank you for bearing with me while I've been on the road, enjoying a little bit of time away. I'll see you guys very soon. Subscribe if you happen to be new to the channel. Check me out on socials, linked in the description. And I'll see you soon for more right here on Beyond ARTV.